Okay, pilots. What I've got here is a Dynam AT-6. It's kind of like the a Navy and Air Force trainer. And it's called a Texan, it's called a Harbor, and a couple other things there, I think. But this is the Dynam model. These other models. But it doesn't come with flaps. Okay. And what I've done to this Dynam AT-6 is I've turned it into a dauntless dive bomber. There's my bomber in the center. And I've also ordered from Horizon Hobby some servoless payload drop. And they're gonna go right here and they're gonna drop that bomb right there. Okay. But I've got them ordered, they ain't got here yet. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my flaps in. There's a compartment right here. This is kind of like a panel right here that they've glued in. It's got all the wires and everything in it, but I'm not gonna go that route. I'm just gonna run my leads right down through this seam right here and come right around here and go down in this hole. Okay. Now my plan is to put the servo in right here. Okay. Now when the flap is engaged, the arm's gonna be pointing that way, and when it's up, the arm's gonna be pointing straight up. Okay. But I've got two regular normal servos. Okay. So in order for my servo to set right, okay, on this side and have the arm where it can move on the outside of the arm and not create no connections there and stop the servo from working. On this side over here, I've got the same normal servo, but I've got it run through a wind harness that has a reverser on one of the leads. Okay, and believe it or not, I was just at a hobby shop down in Florida during Christmas when I was down with my family. And I seen that, I said, dadgummit, I might need that one day. So that's what that is. That's a wild harness with a servo reverser in it. So that I can have this servo on the outside so that this arm here won't be hitting it, moving it in and out. Now, you can get a reversed servo and do the same thing. But I've set my servo here. I don't understand it. Dynam usually does it, but they'll usually go ahead and have your pattern there cut out. All you gotta do is pop a piece of styrofoam after they glue it in there and you can get ready to go. But this one didn't have it. So I put my servo down here where I'm looking like I need it. All right. And I've took and pressed in the servo real hard into the wing here. Just kind of pushed down real hard to make an indentation of the servo there. So now the next step is to cut this hole out here. Now the depth of the servo is all you want to go. So sometimes I can take a little piece of tape. Let me get my tape here. And you can measure from the tip of your blade there up to where it's going to hit it. Let's move this out a little bit here. Now that'll give me somewhat idea of how thick I got to make this. Now, you know how the servo makes the little arms and then it's got the actual servo arm on it. Okay. That area, even though it is indented the area there, that's really going to kind of be a big cutout right there anyway. Okay. So I'm going to start over here with the corner of the servo and And since my blade has kind of got that angle to it right here, you know, you can go straight down with it. And I'm not gonna worry about that little notch in the servo right now. I'm gonna flip my knife around where that tip will be measuring how deep I am. Bring out, I mean, literally you can go ahead and go all the way out past that arm just a little bit. And then where you see where the arm has made the indentation here, you want to go about maybe 3 millimeters or something. Now some companies, I've noticed that they'll have it in an angle where the arm is going in. I'm going to make it an angle, but not much of one, because that flap arm kind of goes way back up in there now, a little bit further than what usually it does. So my angle is not going to be too deep right here. Now, like I said, sometimes your model will already have it to where, oh, I got my horn right here. I just got a simple glue-on horn. Okay, I mean, it's a flap. Come on, Paul, it's not really. So that's just gonna glue right here. Now, I don't have no glue with me. I've run out of glue. And while we're in talking about it here, you can see where it's got the indentation here already in it for the flap itself. So all you really got to do is just make a straight through cut. Now you don't want to make no cut this way, because that's your hinge there. And not only that, I'm going to put me some hinge tape down in here too. But you just take your blade and you get down in that corner there and you make a straight out cut this way and this way. And then you kind of want to widen it up a little bit. Just, I mean, you know, a millimeter we're talking here now, to where it'll be freely moving, won't hit nothing out through here. Now we're gonna make this cut actually not quite as deep as the servo itself, because you know the arm's right in the dead center. Make my angle cut here. Alright, now where it kind of comes in at, I'm going to go ahead and just cut all that out of the way. To where really, literally all I have is just this little horn right here. Now it's, you know, it's got its reason for there. It is to keep that servo stable. So you just can't, you know, cut it out. You know, you got to have it there. So we gotta get something a little bit smaller. Let me find my hobby knife here. If I can find it. You know, it's got the long pointed blade on it there. Well, it did have one. I done broke the tip off of it. We just want to go in there and make that cut there. What you can do, I mean, is just grab a hold of this little piece right here, Pops. Just grab a hold of it with a pair of tweezers or a pair of needle nose pliers. Where's my tweezers at? I'm gonna need them. Grab a hold of that piece, get it out of there. Let's do our other side here. I'm just kind of swagging that depth. It's not really on the horn there, it's not really an exact thing. You just got to get it small like that. Can't have a lot of room in between. it was kind of hard to judge which way the servo was going to go on because of the angle of the flap. So your servo's not going to be perfectly straight in line with the wing. It might be in a little bit of cock there. Another thing you gotta look out for, your spars. Spars up here going this way, but they could be a spar right here. I mean, you put a spar in yourself, but I'm thinking it's right in line with this, because usually that's the way it is. They'll put your wiring and the spar all in the same spot and then glue up big panel down. That's kind of a Dynam thing. Hitting a tough spot there. Styrofoam it won't cut. Get that in an angle so I get to go straight across right here. Alright, now we're going to start kind of making little squares. Again, trying to stay in that same depth. Remember, you had your angle up here, so we're kind of going to put our blade in an angle here and just kind of cut that a little bit. Leave it in an angle to do it there. That right there about to fall out anyway. At least we don't have to worry about any kind of leads. They all up under here for my lights and that other servo out here, I hope. You hope. But it could be trouble. Now I'm not really cutting as deep. I'm just using a knife and an angle right now. I'm gonna come back and get this. Make sure I'm right depth. Now, if the piece of foam down at the bottom don't snap off, just perfectly straight, pilots, don't freak out. It might take a little more out, but that's okay. You want a little bit of area there for your glue to settle. The glue's got to have something to hold on to there. All right, now we're going to go this way a couple times. I made my valley there a little bit wider because I'm gonna make sure that thing ain't gonna hit nothing. I think it'll live. I don't have, or at least maybe I hadn't figured it out anyway, maybe. The high speed where you hit it and it goes fast. I don't think I got that. Nope. You paid all that money for a phone, it still can't make a video and edit a video on the phone. You don't think they want you to spend money on another computer, do you? Make sure you buy an Apple, though. Now, that one's not much of an angle there. Just kind of hit you 10 seconds there. Keep hitting it till you see a little hole here. Yeah, I really done this model up pilots. I put another pilot in the back there and turned him around where he'd be facing backwards. I went to Walmart because I was needing a gun, and now the early model Dauntless dive bombers had twin 30 calibers on it first, and then they changed it to 50 caliber. So I wanted it to look like the twin 30 caliber instead of a single 50 caliber. I kind of looked around at Walmart. Well, actually, I think I went Toys R Us first when it was open. Just kind of looked around there and in the action figures aisle there, and was looking around. I seen this helicopter that had machine gun on the front of it there, and it had twin barrels. I said, there it is. I think it was $19.99 or something for this little helicopter. Now, nowadays you can take a 3D printer and just put in there, and you know, machine gun, whatnot, put the program in, 3D print one out. We're getting close here. Don't be 10-second it no more. Okay, get a couple of slaggers here. A couple of slaggers. Always a slagger. If there's something free around, there's a slagger. Let's see if I can get the most of this up. I know when my cats get hungry, they start beating up against the door. Alright, let's see if it's going to fit in here anyway. My first dry fit here. Alright, I got to cut my lead hole, or you know, canal. When you're pressing your servo in, you know, well, you ain't gonna get it deep enough to hit your lead. Well, evidently my measurements was pretty good there. I'm pretty tight there, tight, very tight. I like it tight. That's it. Okay, now we got to cut us over a lead here. Holding it in just a little bit of an angle there. Taking my finger and just kind of filling the high spots. Filling the high spots, okay? Taking that fingernail and leveling it up there a little bit. I don't want to push it in there too good. Now I won't be able to get it up. Won't glue it in. Alright. I'm still sticking up there a little bit, so let's see here. Let's see here.
Now you can take a drilling tool and kind of eat it out there.
Since I don't have that, I got a piece of rough 36 grit or 40 grit sandpaper here. Get that out of the way. Just giving it a good sometimes you gotta get in them corners a little bit better. Alright, looks like that servo's in. Exactly where I want it. Okay. It's gonna be right in line with that horn. So right now, get this piece of tape off here, because we're gonna need full blade. Same way as before, you got your angle of your blade here. So you want that blade to be 90 degrees. Now this is going to be an attempt to make a straight cut. And then plus you got to make another cut after this, so you know you're trying your best to make it straight, but you know pilots how it is. Over here. Now Dynam uses foam hinges. I mean that's their deal. But I'm gonna put some hinge tape on here. I'm gonna show you what type I use. Get that little 1 millimeter section cut out of it there. You know how that is. And you can always take your little fine sandpaper and stick it in between there and work it in a little bit, you know. the bottom. Trying to keep it straight, 90-degree angle there with the surface, but you know, that's kind of tough to do sometimes, Pop. It's not easy. It's not easy being cheesy. Okay, now that first time you work this, it's gonna be a little tough. Yep, gonna be a little tough. But we want to go down, of course. Okay. I'm good. What do I do with that horn? I lost my horn. My horn. Blow the horn. Okay. We got that. We got this arm extended. Now it's not centered. I gotta plug it all in and do that. But that's looking almost perfect. I might have to do just a hair a bit more. Well, no, actually it is. It's about right. So, I mean, there's not gonna be much of a deflection on the flap pilots. I mean, we're looking at probably 45 degrees here only. So, you know, you got your little takeoff flaps. But it's just, I mean, a dauntless dive bomber's got to have flaps, pilots. It's got to. It's just got to. It's got to, mister. But there you go, pilots. I got to do a little adjusting right here. Just bring my caliper in some, and let's just take my tester here. This is my tester. Get over here. Okay. Got my radio on. Oh, I got the wrong battery. It's not that one. Got my radio on. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit in case that thing goes nuts on me and breaks it. Let's move it up just a little bit here. I got channel 6s out here. Yep, it went down a little bit. You see that? Let's look at something here. Oh, I got it in the wrong plug. I knew I'd do it. For some reason, pilots, for some reason. Uh-oh. When I plugged it into the flap, and it had the knob control on the radio here. See the knob here? Little knob control, you know. Well, one servo would work, the other one wouldn't. So I thought the servo was bad. No, so I switched servos. That lead over there would not work unless I put it in the, well, and damn it, now it ain't gonna work anyway. Have I left this thing unplugged here? No. That was supposed to work. That was supposed to work. It worked last night. It's that second thing. What is wrong now? There it goes. Oh, well, forget about that whole statement I just made. It wouldn't work if I put it on the flaps on a switch, so working on the knob makes it work. So just, you know, That's CQRC for you. Don't listen to what he says. But anyway, that's what we're looking at right there. I know my horn ain't gonna hold, so I'm just, you know, but that's gonna be operating the flaps. Now I've got to cut, I noticed that my arm, all right, let's see here. I'm all the way back. And see, I can't get that arm in there no further than that because it's hitting right there. So I'm gonna have to make my angle here a little bit further back. See, the front looks good because it ain't getting nowhere near that front anyway. So I'm gonna have to make this a little bit longer. Glue my horn. Let's see how much we got here. I ain't got much left. Before you hook your servo up, I'm going to take my strip of hinge tape. Now this is reinforced tape. I mean, if you can see it. I'm gonna bend that down as far as I can get it. Get that edge down there, and all I'm gonna do is just right across the area where the horn is. Come on now, I got to bend that down a little bit further. Let me get that out of the way since it ain't glued. It's gonna have to go down further. And you're trying to, you're trying to get it right there in the dead center, but you know it ain't got to be perfect, pilots. You know what I mean? You putting a piece of tape on something. So you just get it on there and get it kind of, don't start pushing no edges down. Don't do that. You get your small Phillips head screwdriver and you take that screwdriver and you put it in that corner first. You push your corner in first. You got to try to get center. Try to get center here. Too far on that bottom there. This ain't easy now. Now, Jeff in Lower Alabama, he's got a little bit different way he does it. He puts foam tack down in there and just kind of works it a little bit and then makes sure he spreads it out where it won't touch. Too much down on the bottom. And you just kind of simply close your surface up there. Push it in. And there's the hinge tape. So I'm gonna get you right here where you can see that. I hope you can see it in there. And how I've got to see my arm hitting right here up on the surface. So I've got to make that angle a little bit better to where that arm won't hit. Glue that in, glue my horn on. Run this lead from that wire harness from the top down through the hole. You can see right here, I've already done a wire harness once for my bomb drop. It's already in there. Just the ends are sticking out, but I'll do the same way and then plug them in out here after I run them through little canal there for the leads. But let me get some glue. We'll have this flaps job done. Flaps job. I'm out.